Have you ever left a conversation feeling uneasy even though there wasn't any clear disagreement? It feels like something was wrong, but you can't figure out what it was. What if that uneasy feeling is a sign of hidden manipulation? If you often feel unsure of yourself, emotionally exhausted, or keep thinking about past conversations to understand them better, you might be dealing with a covert narcissist. Covert narcissists are hard to spot in everyday situations, but if you know the signs, you can recognize them quickly. In this video, I'll share 5 clues to help you identify a covert narcissist during a conversation. I'll also include personal stories from my own experiences to help you see these patterns and offer practical tips to handle any conversation confidently, ensuring you stay one step ahead. Have you ever felt exhausted after a conversation where all you did was comfort someone, but it seemed pointless? This is a sign of a covert narcissist. They often seek sympathy from others. When talking to a covert narcissist, you'll see a pattern. The conversation always centers on their problems. They use their sad stories to get your attention, trying to make you feel sorry for them. They appear vulnerable, making you want to help them with their emotional or material needs. Everyone has bad days where they complain or need extra support. But when talking with a covert narcissist, you'll notice they often speak in a way that makes you feel pity for them. They don't say, "I need to get a job." They say, "I lost my job and now I don't know what to do." They always make it sound like they are the victim, subtly hinting that you should help them. This can be tricky for empathetic people because we naturally feel concerned when someone shares their problems. We naturally want to comfort and support others. In my job, I've learned to be cautious around people who make excuses for their limitations. For example, someone who asks for help but then gives many reasons why they can't be helped, or someone who seeks pity but rejects any practical solutions. This doesn't always mean they're secretly self-centered, but it's a signal for me to be careful and move forward with caution. If you find yourself talking to someone who keeps seeking sympathy by always discussing their problems, try using the seamless share test. One sign of covert narcissism is not showing real interest in your life unless it benefits them. This test helps you see if this is happening. Instead of directly asking if someone wants to hear your story, try to naturally include your own related experience or emotion in the conversation. For example, you could say, "That's tough, I had a similar experience where." This helps see if they can have a two-way conversation. If they quickly turn the focus back to themselves and show little interest in what you shared, it's a warning sign. Politely excuse yourself from the conversation with a firm but kind exit like, "It seems like you have a lot on your plate. I hope things get better." Have you ever found yourself doubting the comment that made you feel uneasy as if there was a hidden insult? This is a common tactic used by covert narcissists. They make passive-aggressive comments that seem casual but are meant to hurt you. It's their sneaky way of undermining you while appearing innocent. You might hear them make subtle insults or backhanded compliments about friends, colleagues, or even you. These comments are often cloaked in sarcastic humor or fake concern, making it difficult to recognize the negativity. For example, someone might make a mildly insulting remark about another person's work ethic or lifestyle, pretending they are just concerned or making an observation. This behavior isn't just about sharing opinions. It's a tactic to subtly put others down to boost themselves, all while avoiding looking openly mean. If you're empathetic, it can be tricky to spot hidden unfriendliness. You might see mean comments as genuine concerns or jokes, missing the negativity underneath. If you tend to trust people, you might not notice when they're subtly trying to control or disrespect you. Here's a simple example. I used to feel uncomfortable going to restaurants with new people because I was embarrassed about my food allergies. I didn't want to seem like I was making things difficult. Most people were understanding, but I'll never forget this one guy who loudly said, "Oh, you're one of those who always needs special treatment." At the time, I just laughed it off, but looking back, I realized it wasn't a friendly joke. After going through similar situations with him for years, I can now see the deliberate manipulation. His sarcastic remarks, especially about important things like health, were meant to make him feel superior by putting down my needs. To figure out if someone is intentionally being passive-aggressive, or if it was just a slip-up, try the clarify and observe approach. Take control by pausing the conversation with a light-hearted question like, "I'm curious, what did you mean by that?" This does two things. It gives them a chance to explain, possibly revealing it was a mistake or misunderstood humor, and it makes them think about their comment. Then pay close attention to their response and body language. If someone is a covert narcissist, they might use sarcasm and tease you for being too sensitive. They may also act defensive, dismissive, or insincere. They might even try to make themselves the victim of the situation, showing they can't engage genuinely. When people make honest mistakes, they usually respond with openness and genuine concern. They offer a sincere apology or clarification, showing they care about not hurting or offending you. If you want to receive the tools I talk about, sign up below. You'll get a new 3-minute empowerment plan every week. Now let's move on to the next topic. Have you ever felt like you had to solve someone else's problems, even though it left you feeling tired? Let's discuss another clue to identify a covert narcissist: the savior complex trap. This is when someone subtly pushes you into a role where you feel responsible for their well-being, like you're their chosen hero. Covert narcissists are good at this, telling stories and presenting problems so you feel baited into thinking only you can understand or fix their issues. It's a sneaky way to tap into your desire to be needed and important. But there's a problem. It leaves you feeling tired and empty. It's a one-sided deal where your efforts to help aren't appreciated or returned. Instead, they take advantage of your kindness and willingness to help to feed their constant need for attention and validation. Empathetic people might not see this because we tend to focus on others' feelings and needs, sometimes forgetting about our well-being. In my own experience, I've learned to recognize warning signs within myself. When I'm chatting with someone and suddenly feel a strong urge to help them, I know I need to be cautious. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a covert narcissist. It just shows that I'm prone to falling into a savior complex. What's even trickier is when I start feeling sorry for them, while also believing I can rescue them. That's a clear signal that I'm slipping into old, unhealthy habits. To handle this tendency to want to save others, I've developed a simple technique: the reflect, ask, observe approach. First, I take a moment to reflect on my urge to help. Am I genuinely trying to offer mutual support, or am I feeling overly responsible for their well-being? Then I ask a straightforward question about their expectations for my role, such as, how can I best support you right now? This puts the focus back on them and helps me gauge whether they genuinely want support or just want to take advantage of my helpful nature. Watch how they react carefully. In a good chat, they'll ask for something specific and reasonable with thanks. But if someone who's secretly self-centered is trying to make you feel like their hero, they might give unclear answers, ask for more and more, tell bigger stories of their problems, or even make you feel guilty. Have you ever felt puzzled by someone who seems to really like you one minute, and then puts you down for the same things the next? What does it mean when someone praises you for something, then immediately makes you feel bad about it? This brings us to another way to spot a sneaky narcissist in a conversation. They value you one minute and put you down the next. Covert narcissists often go back and forth between praising and criticizing you. They might say they admire your achievements one minute, making you feel good, then suddenly say you work too hard or care too much about money, making you feel bad. This back and forth behavior can throw you off. It's like you're constantly trying to figure out where you stand with them, because they keep changing their tune. But here's the thing. They do it on purpose. They want you to keep trying to please them, even though they're benefiting from your efforts. When you're a caring person, you might not even realize what's going on. You're used to empathizing with others and giving them the benefit of the doubt. So even when they're being inconsistent or even hurtful, you might find yourself making excuses for them. You focus on the good stuff, even when it doesn't add up. And that makes it hard to see when someone is playing games with your emotions, like pretending to value you one moment and then putting you down the next. When using the priority clarification test, ask yourself which matters more to you, the good things they said or the bad. Most folks won't find this pushy, but a sneaky narcissist might feel threatened because it exposes their tricks. Keep an ear out for their reply. Regular folks will likely give a straight answer or be curious about your view, but a covert narcissist might dodge the question. Watch how they react next. Normal reactions might include honesty or interest, but covert narcissists might get defensive or try to turn the tables, showing their manipulation skills. Now, let's talk about those who get super defensive over small stuff. This is a big clue for spotting a covert narcissist. They tend to react strongly to criticism. In conversation, they might only see things in extremes, either all support or all criticism. You might notice them getting defensive not just to direct criticism, but also to responses that don't completely agree with their struggles. If you suggest they could handle their problems or don't show the exact amount of sympathy they want, they might see it as a threat. Unlike grandiose narcissists who show anger or aggression when criticized, covert narcissists withdraw or shut down communication. If you're empathetic, you might avoid topics that could upset them, even if you disagree secretly. But this isn't healthy. You need to share your thoughts to understand their reaction. They twist things around so even good news feels like a problem. If you're feeling punished without knowing why, try talking directly about it. Start by gently saying something like, "It seems like something's wrong. Can we talk about it?" This might help open up a conversation without making things confrontational. Most people are open and understanding, ready to talk about problems and find solutions together. They share their thoughts and feelings, aiming for mutual understanding and cooperation to improve the situation. However, if you're dealing with someone who is a covert narcissist, things might not go smoothly. They may avoid the issue, stay silent, or twist the conversation to make you feel like it's your fault instead of addressing the real problem. They might keep using silence or withdrawing emotionally to control the situation or avoid taking responsibility. It's important to know how to ask direct questions, especially if you're not comfortable with conflicts. But it's not just about what narcissists say.